So here we are, game number 1, best of 5 between two of the top 4 players according to the seeds coming into this event. We've got Liereyy in the blue playing as Khmer, and then TaToH playing as Lithuanians. And VIPER, I was thinking we'd see a little bit more Lithuanians coming into this tournament on this map. Is that due to, what does that do to the fact that we're seeing this maybe for the first time today on Frigid Lake, a map we've seen every series?
Yeah, if you think about the 9 villager start compared to the 3 villager start, Lithuanians shine on 3 villager because you get the docks so fast in Dark Age, and it has so much time to work the fishing ships during Dark Age. Here, it's not really the same because you don't stay in Dark Age for that long, so the benefit you get from having that 150 extra food to get those fishing ships out faster is not the same compared to the regular random map start with 3 villagers. But, of course, they're still one of the best options. But as we have seen through the Grand Melee, for example, Persians became the clear #1 civ on this map. And it was also the first pick of TaToH and the first ban of Liereyy.
All right, yeah. And, you know, we've seen very fast up times here. You know, some events you'll have like day 1, players will go up on 20 population, let's say, 21 population. This event, it's like everyone has clearly been practicing and getting those builds down to the fastest they can. And look at that, they both click up at 18, well, at 19 pop for TaToH, 18 pop for Liereyy, but at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Khmer in this situation have more flexibility because they don't need a barracks if they want to go land units. So I think it's up to Liereyy to determine exactly how he wants to approach this. For TaToH, I think it's fairly clear. He wants to get up, try and win that water ASAP, while Liereyy is more in the, you know, he can choose whether he wants to maybe add a range, maybe a stable, or for all I know, maybe he wants to go water as well. Yeah,
you know, I think this is actually the most aggressive opening on water for Frigid Lake in the entire event, because I think we've been seeing 1 and 2 fishing ships for most. More than not, it's always both players having fishing ships. First time I've seen someone go for water control, which is what I assume this is going to be, could be wrong, and not have it. Though, then again, I should say, and you just mentioned the flexibility and the fact that it's Liereyy, wouldn't surprise me to see Liereyy just go for a range or something.
Yeah, for sure. He loves getting into those archer units. That villager, I'm not sure what he's doing. Is he looking for a second woodline, maybe?
Good question.
Or he probably didn't find his sheep yet. If we go a little bit down, are those 2 extra sheep on the minimap? Yeah, he didn't find his 2 sheep, so he's looking with them because he can't afford using a scout to scout right now because he needs to defend his dock villager.
That could be huge, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
He is streamlining this with 0 fishing ships, streamlining this towards spending that wood and gold, and he's hoping to have the food for fletching and the villagers. So him not finding those, he's still looking. Could be a pretty big deal here, but it looks like Lierey's going to get the better engagement. No, it's very close. 15 versus 14 HPs on the scouts, so both scouts 3 hits away from going down.
Yeah, he did find those sheep now, and those sheep are crucial because this map already has so few resources available to you. You only have your berry patch, you have, I think, 5 sheep in total, and 1 boar. And there is a shorefish as well, but that is not enough to do any like proper strategy based off of food, like for example scouts.
Yeah.
So that's why we usually see either dock play or heavy commitment on water, or just a straight archer play. And at the moment, it seems like Lierey's going for the demo to try and snipe some fish and the archer play.
Yeah, he's also kind of hidden it because he could have brought it forward. There it is. I'll be honest with you, this is a great start for TaToH from what I'm seeing. Losing the villager, I don't see as that big a deal. What do you think?
I think the long-term area is definitely better to have the fishing ship, but obviously the villager, if he was going for water, getting that villager so it can repair any fire ships would be nice, but in this case, probably would prefer taking a fishing ship maybe.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. Now, what TaToH did just confirm, if I'm not wrong, maybe Vodka could show us, is that archer range is there, right? So he didn't know about that, and now you have to do so much work, right? Because you need a barracks before you can make your archer range to make something like skirmishers in TaToH's position. So maybe a situation, actually I see a stone is gone now, so maybe he already is doing this, where TaToH will have to place a really nice tower. But I'd need to take a glance at his base layout to see, yeah, so like that's going to protect the golds. Wood could potentially still be a little bit of a concern for him.
Yeah, wood is definitely possible to harass there. He could do some nice walls to kind of protect the woodline and the gold together, but he can still be harassed from behind. And yeah, now he's rushing up the barrack. He didn't even overinvest in water. He made 2 fires, 1 demo, but he did add a second dock as well. And when you add all that up together, it becomes a lot of wood invested. And now he's playing catch-up, trying to get the barrack, trying to get the range. And I imagine as he is Lithuanians, probably wants to go skirms.
I was just going to say, I'm not sure I love the tower position because it doesn't protect the wood and gold as much. We see some quick walling here from TaToH, but Liereyy runs right through, doesn't lose the archers yet. Bit of an awkward spot for Liereyy. I guess the positive here for TaToH is he's weakened the archers, and he might actually be able to kill them here.
Yeah, but the issue here for TaToH is this is still all his wood income. He's only playing with 1 lumber camp, and even placing those palisade gates and whatnot, that's wood that you wanted to spend on your archery range. And I think you can argue there's a bit of a sloppy play here from TaToH that he left that gap open where he's placing the house now.
The house could have been there
exactly,
already. Yeah.
Exactly.
Viper, next time you try and gate trap something, I'm going to say, Viper once said while casting with me that you can argue that that's a waste of wood.
Hey, everything has within context, okay? There's different situations. Sometimes
Dude,
you have to do it, even for style points.
Okay, all right, style points. Because I was going to say, I could think of some pretty ridiculous situations with your gates, so it's all good. But, look at the farming there from Liereyy, even pulling the villager off of wood to farm, and off of gold, too. It's like, how are you going to raid the guy's farming eco when he's in 4 different spots? That's the beauty of Khmer here. And TaToH with a couple fishing ships on the way out of his 2 docks here, Viper. He's got skirms out. I think he's in a really nice position currently.
Imagine that he actually secured that wood line earlier as well. He would have been in such a good spot here. Also with the Lithuanians, the nice thing here is, as you probably expect the archer opening from Liereyy, you have faster moving skirmishers. And that's so nice in this situation, especially when your blacksmith is kind of delayed, so you cannot get fletching yourself to be like competitive on the upgrades. But you can outrun them, and you are a counter unit. So yeah, I think TaToH is in a fantastic spot right now.
And just coming back to me, actually, an amazing match from Red Bull between these two. I'm not sure if it was the final, but I think it was like Khmer Hindustanis or something, and we saw some crazy scout production from both players for a bit there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the final, actually.
Yeah, I think it was maybe final game 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, market's up there for TaToH. He's going to buy some food possibly to balance things out a little bit.
Yeah, he hasn't spent any gold since he went on gold right away in Villese, right? He doesn't need it anymore, so he's going to use that to balance his economy to get whatever he needs. At the moment, the only thing I'm a bit concerned of for TaToH is the amount of units he has on food. He has those 3, soon to be 4 fishing ships.
Yep.
But besides that, I reckon he's only on berries. While Liereyy, as we saw earlier, has already started farming, and those Khmer farms are the most effective, as effective as you can get on this map. So Liereyy might be looking at a really fast castlage time here.
And I feel like a lot of players in Lierey's current position would be running away with their archers against Lithuanians, but TaToH hasn't been able to track those. Obviously an opportunity for him here, and maybe TaToH's been waiting, but and until I start to see TaToH kill these archers, we got some nice quick walls. I'm not going to necessarily love his position, but those are some archers he can kill. Liereyy being annoying there. That's something he could kill as well, though, possibly.
Yeah, the thing is, Liereyy knows as well that TaToH has fish right now, right? So on paper, you can argue the guy who has fish usually has a little bit of a better economy. As we see in the resources collected as well, TaToH is slightly ahead, but what are those resources? Liereyy for sure has collected way more food right now.
And probably less wood, right? Because it's like any time he's had wood, he's even pulling villagers off of wood to make farms. Yeah, so the balance... If anyone's making a market, obviously we do have that as part of the meta these days. Oftentimes that comes down to the fact that their balance isn't where it should maybe be. So TaToH's trying to track this down. It's maybe a weird caster thing to say, but okay, he's going to kill these anyways. I was going to say, I like to see the skirmishers go alone here when they're faster, because if you move the archers with the skirms, you're then moving at archer speed. But I think he's going to kill it there, Viper. I think he's also going to get Liereyy off of his wood line as well. And TaToH should get the kills that he's been looking for.
Yeah, but Liereyy now is on the way to the castle age. TaToH below 100 food.
Yeah, yep.
That is a little bit, it's going to be a little bit of a difference to castle age. Like, I'm pretty sure Liereyy will hit castle age before TaToH has even clicked. And fortunately for TaToH, I would say is that Liereyy is sticking with the crossbow play. I feel like if he made a stable switch here, that could be really hard for TaToH to deal with.
Well, I think it wouldn't surprise me if Liereyy makes that stable. Like a lot of players will just fully switch into 2 stables here. What Liereyy likes to do is still keep the crossbows alive and have 1 stable just to prop up and allow his crossbows to move further forward here.
For sure, and that's why it's very nice now for TaToH that he picked off half of the archer army, so that power spike hitting castle age for Liereyy is going to be slightly less, although Liereyy with 4 or 5 crossbows can still be quite deadly.
This is why we see Khmer picked on this map all the time. Liereyy just was able to give up water. Like, no one else is really doing that. No other civilization can really get away with it. And so, there's a sneaky archer army there for Liereyy. He's actually sending an archer back, like a scout, to see if there's another wood line maybe, a wall to.
Yeah, probably is that, and also just to make sure that, he has vision exactly for how he wants to develop his economy further.
Sure.
Maybe he wants to drop a town center or something. TaToH now actually going aggressive. That's a bit of a surprise to me, but maybe he senses that Liereyy might be up, and of course, Lierey's out of position here. He has no units at home.
Yeah, and I mean, at a certain point, you also don't want to react all the time. So, this could be positive here. But then Khmer can hop inside of houses unlike any other civilization, so Liereyy just goes boop into the house. And, for your TaToH, you don't know if you stay here and just consider those villagers being idle as a win, or if you move around here. But for now, he's just sitting here. I don't think he saw the stable, but it's likely that TaToH will lose all of his ranged units there.
Yeah, and even keeping villages idle is still economical damage. So
over top.
7. Oh, Liereyy saw it. Liereyy saw it. He wants to wait, and TaToH did not see the archers.
Oh, he attacked the house, though. He did attack the house. I hate it when my units do that. And TaToH sees it as well.
Nice.
But if he didn't attack the house there, it's unlikely TaToH would have noticed the army was there.
Yeah, TaToH is on the way to the castle edge, by the way. In 2 minutes, he's going to be there. But of course, now there's a time window for over 2 minutes where Liereyy will have tech advantages. Actually, speaking of tech advantages, no fletching, no crossbowman, no Balkan arrow, no crossbowman upgrade.
Yep.
The only cast edge unit he has on the field right now is 1 knight.
And you could tell Lierey's really distracted, right? Normally his archer micro is a bit better than that when he has higher numbers. And I would be careful when up against TaToH of getting too close to that dock.
Oh, yeah.
I think TaToH's going to be queuing a demo any moment now. But good work from TaToH here, Viper. He's been able to hold on to the water, get some fishing ships out, and he hasn't taken any losses against Liereyy of all people in early castle.
Indeed, he has killed 1 villager with his army and idled a lot. And the biggest thing here is probably that he forced 2 scouts from Liereyy first off, and then the initial knight as well stayed at home.
Yep.
So he has bought a lot of timer to secure his full wall up, and now he's going to hit castle edge with 10 more economic units. And I'm not sure if he's added a stable and wants to tech switch. Yeah, 2 stables from TaToH here, so TaToH's going to match those knight numbers very, very fast.
Yeah, exactly, and the resources collected higher for TaToH. I think the civilization potential is also higher, but again, you do have the Khmer with the potential to boom like crazy, and we have the second TC already for Liereyy. So he'll be ahead in villagers most likely. I'm loving the fact that he's got horse color for all these farms. He's got his wood upgrade already. Like, there's a lot to love for Lierey's position, even though he hasn't finished off TaToH.
Yeah, but he is still wide open. He's not fully walled. Unlike TaToH, TaToH can now add those knights, and he can just send those knights right into Lierey's economy. And even though Liereyy can jump into houses, it's still easy for knights to potentially find a kill here and there, as we have Liereyy trying to actually kill the water of TaToH with his own knights.
Yeah, I think the additional scouts could get some amazing value for Liereyy in this game if he can think to do it. He's also going to get relics already. All these things are very important. You also need to sometimes...
Was he trying to block the...
Delete the fire. You don't want to give him a fire.
He moved. He made a mistake. He moved. Oh, he wanted to switch to the knight. Oh, wow.
Gosh.
That's huge for TaToH.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, the fishing ships could still go down for TaToH, but again, that's a large force that he would not want to deal with at his base right now. And now that's a monk that isn't collecting a relic or just wandering around Lierey's base waiting for knights to come in from TaToH. So I think from what we can see, TaToH should send those 2 knights into Lierey's economy. Does TaToH realize that?
That's the thing. TaToH also probably wants to fight for the relics, so he might want to keep his knights on the field. As we know, Lithuanians get extra attack by garrisoning relics in their monastery. So that's also why Liereyy is so... like he's paying so much attention to picking up relics really fast because he wants to counter that for the Lithuanians. Yeah.
I mean, I'm for Lierey's sake, I'm loving the fact that the fishing economy hasn't paid off too much. I'm also loving the fact that those scouts did get some value. So both players' monks have gone down, but that's going to be relic number 1 for Liereyy. And he's on 3 TCs, or he will be in a second. TaToH still hasn't added his second one.
Yeah, TaToH did, as we know, add a tower in Feudal Age, so he has the Mind Stone, which he's doing right now in order to add new town centers. He does have 2 relics fairly close to his base, but the other 2 relics are kind of on Lierey's half right now, so I'm not really sure if TaToH will get more than 2 relics, if even, with Lithuanians.
Yep, I like husbandry. I do like the knight numbers as well, and now that those scouts go down too, which is a big help for TaToH to move forward freely. But, you know... let's see how this pans out here with the Lithuanians and their relic count, because we still won't see him coming in for TaToH yet.
Yeah, TaToH is guarding that. He has added the demo. He is guarding the relic. Let's see if he commits.
No, that's really bad. That's 1, and it could have been more 2.
2 conversions.
Oh, and it could be 3.
Oh, he's trying to demo the monk, though. I'm not sure if this is really worth it. TaToH is so obsessed with his demos, man. Like, no other player would make a demo here. It just...
I mean, I like the demo. I don't like the hesitation there.
Fair.
Right? Because if you initially started to go in, you almost have to continue to kill the monks at that point, so you're not losing the knights. He was unsure of himself, and a lot of that probably due to the pressure of the moment here, Viper.
Indeed. Liereyy now pulling himself ahead in villager count by already 12, so he's looking really good. TaToH did get a second TC up, and I think if it goes to a late game scenario, LeetDesk is an incredible unit in this matchup.
Yeah.
But of course, if you don't have any relics, they don't have the same power spike as they normally would have.
Resources collected 14.3K for both, and it literally went from 14.2K to 14.3, and now it's going 0.4, and it's going to go to 0.5, and it's just so close right now. I think the Khmer farm's just kind of making the difference currently.
Yeah,
it's so close.
Liereyy was playing catch-up on the resources collected, but now he's starting to pull ahead, so his economy advantage is just growing, and Yeah, I feel like TaToH suddenly is in a spot where he has to start taking some convincing trades soon, otherwise he might fall quite far behind.
I don't think Sanctity's in yet, so these monks could die. Oh, this is so good for Liereyy. This is amazing. The Lycav edition was so early, and while he does lose a monk of his own, I think the engagement is better for Liereyy. He's got more knights in the field. He's still got some monks there to heal up. Remember, he's got 2 relics behind this that he's denied from the Lithuanians.
He's just finishing Bloodlines now as well. He's got double the knight numbers of TaToH now. Liereyy just with full map control at the moment. He can pick up all these relics freely. TaToH was able to grab one. Actually, the one relic he grabbed, he had to drop it right outside the gate.
Oh, no. Good thing you can't drop it underneath the gate. I don't think that's possible, right? Hold the gate open. But man, I love that from TaToH. He needs to just get back to business here with his stable units.
Yeah, I think Liereyy actually showed TaToH where that relic was now. I don't think he knew before, but now he will have an idea that there is a relic there, so maybe he'll work towards that. But this pressure is so... As a player, you're so uncomfortable dealing with this when you're having like 3-4 villagers trying to repair a gate right in front of your gold.
Yep, exactly, and it becomes a position where at this level, Lierey's going to use that time. He knows he's not going to win the game, so he's going to add a few more farms. He's up to 41 on food right now. The food eco with Khmer is flying for him, and he's now 1,000 resources collected ahead.
Yeah, at this point, I think in TaToH's situation as well, if you had 2, 3, 4 relics maybe, sure, you can justify sticking with knights, but I think at this point, we're at the point where he probably has to make a tech switch to be able to match the numbers of Liereyy.
Good thing is Lithuanians have the option of pikemen, but man, it's like any time TaToH moves out, there's just a Wololo or there's a bigger mass of knights against him. A tricky spot for him, man, and I'm impressed with Liereyy. My favorite thing about this is how early the Lycav upgrade came in.
Yeah.
Earlier today, I was talking to Hera, and he's like, I think monks are OP, and I think they need change, and blah, 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 seriously, you know. And I was like, listen, I understand we're seeing monks more than ever, but Lycav is 150 food and 50 gold, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, mixing in, we're not seeing, or what I said was I don't think we're seeing Lycav mixed in early enough to predict the monks, and it was the perfect job from Liereyy.
Yeah, the timing was spot on for that. TaToH again with the demo. He just can't help himself. He always tries. TaToH now with Lightcat as well, trying to pick up some monks, but yeah, Liereyy is now picking up his soon-to-be 3rd relic. I'm not really sure where the 4th one is now.
Yeah, but I like this because this is the first time in the game where TaToH in Castle Age, at least, has been able to get some raids in, and this is going to mean that Liereyy could make some mistakes on the front. He could overextend with his monks. TaToH trying to kill the monks. They're not getting them. But there's a lot of exposed villagers in that Khmer farming economy.
Yeah, and look what Lierey's response to knights coming in is. Build houses.
Build houses, yeah, right? I mean, it will help you later on, but from 40 on food to 13 on food really will hurt your production, and this gives TaToH time to get the tech switch in VIPER or to move forward with something.
Yeah, I don't see TaToH making any sort of adjustments for a tech switch at the moment, but yeah, this is still huge value, just idling so many farms, as Liereyy, if you look at the resource collected, is already over 2,000 ahead now. All Liereyy needs to do, though, is buy time for his knights to come home and clean it up, and then those farmers are back to work, and that food count is going to keep skyrocketing. Yep,
and TaToH needs to maybe take a middle position. We see some activity in the middle here, Vodka. I'm not sure what it was, but I'm guessing, yes, Lycavs against monks there. So good snipes. We do have a hole here. The presence of mind from Liereyy to counter raid with 4 knights while everything else is happening is so crazy. Like, probably only players in the top 10 are doing that at that exact moment. Liereyy in people's top 4 here, obviously, and one of the favorites, but you know, TaToH reacts, but it's like, oh, come on, man. I thought I had control of this game.
Exactly. You have, like, a lot of people might send everything home just to make sure they clean up this counter raid, but Liereyy knows, he saw the numbers of TaToH, so he sent home exactly how much he needed, and he sent the other units to counterattack, and he's getting so much damage. Like, you can argue maybe he's even getting more damage than TaToH did.
Absolutely, and now monks go to clear this up, and there's Lycav in there as well. I think the conversions come in, which is at least good for TaToH, but you really don't want to be losing these monks either.
Yeah, great foresight from Liereyy here, expecting this to play out like this, and we can see as well the score right now. Both players have vision of the score as well. They can tell as well which direction this game is headed, and TaToH definitely on a back foot. Again, I feel like he has to make that tech switch.
Yeah, and maybe it's just going to be a defensive castle here, VIPER, because it's looking bad. He doesn't have knights in queue. He's just got monks in queue. There's 23 knights for Liereyy. There's 4 Lycav. He's got 4 relics behind this, and there could be holes in these wood lines at any moment because the wood lines he's chopping are all where he's walling towards. And no, I didn't.
The timing.
Okay, thank God. Because like that's on me, right?
Well, the middle is wide open anyway at the moment.
Yeah, that's
the palace side is open.
As a caster, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for saying that.
Yeah. At this point, Liereyy, TaToH is dropping. Oh, that's not where you want to place a castle normally. It's in the back of your base, around your farming economy. If farming is what you need to secure with a castle, that's already a bit of a rough spot.
Yeah,
but
no gold worlds, no stones.
Exactly. Even now, though, he gets the castle up, he starts producing Lightis. Again, he's stuck with only one relic. It's not going to have the crazy power swing that Lightis normally give you.
Look at the resources for Liereyy. This is unbelievable.
Wow.
He clicks up to Imp. He could continue the Knight spam, and sure, the Lithuanians have the greater peak with what they can do with the stable units, but if you can just produce more and have this type of economy, there's just no stopping you.
Yeah, at this point, Liereyy is just steamrolling in as well. Everything he's making. A lot of monks are coming from TaToH, so he might be able to stabilize here.
Yep.
But at this point, I'm also not sure if we'll even see Imperial Age for Liereyy.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, you know, TaToH's already feeling like, even without thinking that Liereyy could be up to Imp, I think he's just like, I'm down bad right now. I've only been reacting. Is the first game of the series. I'm not sure if you've encountered losing the first game as much as I have.
Dude, every tournament I play, I lose first game of the day, almost.
I guess that's fair. I didn't want to say that, you know?
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
But okay, but in my case, and maybe our case, Viper, sometimes it's best to play out the first game a little bit longer, to like shake off some of those jitters. And I don't know what it is, but sometimes you just feel a little bit better going into game 2.
I do it a lot as well. Like even just to warm up and keep your make sure your fingers are reacting the way you want them to react while you're moving around and such. So I tend to do that as well. Even though I kind of know the game is over, I still play on just to try and warm up for the remaining part of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be a counter attack from TaToH. Potentially, if we're correct, his last little attack. But I mean, he's going to lose these knights to light cap. Like he's like a full armor, full attack. There's going to be so much more of them. And poor TaToH here, he's just got what seems like a tiny little army of knights and monks. That's not going to be able to advance out very far. He's going to need a lot of demos here to have any chance.
A lot. And he needs to, make Liereyy step on the water as well. Which, Liereyy, knowing who he's facing, I don't think he's really that interested in walking on those shallows. But another castle now from TaToH on the front, trying to secure that second stone for himself. But yeah, Lierey's Imperial Age is going to kick in soon. TaToH is so far away from him. And even though he has Lightis, which is probably a unit that can compete with Imperial Age units, again, I keep coming back to that only one relic. If you have 3-4 relics, those Lightis are insane, but on only one relic, I'm not sure. Yeah,
I mean, we'll see if the GG is called here. TaToH, he hasn't been up against that force yet, so he hasn't felt it. I'm sure he senses it. Maybe it's a GG call. You just mentioned, that you said the word insane. Liereyy played insane there. That was ridiculous, man. His castle age time was incredible, and he didn't kill with crossbows, and yet he was just flying with the economy.
Yeah, exactly. He played Khmer how you want to play them here. You want to take initiative on land, make it awkward for the player that is committing heavily on water, and then from there on you just set up your food economy at home. And I mean, we saw he was castle age before TaToH even clicked, so that tells you everything about the Khmer economy. And yeah, of course, reactions from there as well. He didn't even do crossbow or Balkan arrow, which I think in hindsight was a really good choice. He stuck with one stable, added a monastery fast, picked up the relics, which is a counterplay to Lithuanians as well. And then from there, he just controlled the game, added economy, and TaToH just was playing catch-up pretty much from castle age.
Yeah, that was pretty wild, man. And, there's something to just sticking to like one or two things in a game. I know these are the best of the best, but I kind of liked how he said, I'm not going to try and focus on water that much, because sometimes you invest so much into the water when you already are at a disadvantage there, and then you don't have the farms and you don't have the archers, right? It's like he prioritized the things that he needed to, and then if he had anything left over, toss some stuff in on water. Yeah.
Can let production know that there's currently 1-0 for Liereyy, but...
Ooh, Viper calling out production here.
I gotta let him know.
I actually didn't notice.
Isn't that part of our job here?
This is why we brought you in. I did not bring you in for your insights at all, just for this.
But I played this matchup, not the matchup itself, but I played the map against Khmer earlier myself against Jordan. And again, I had a perfect map that wanted to help hold on. But even then, I felt so much pressure from the Khmer. So yeah, if we look at the draft here as well, it was, in quotes, first pick from Liereyy, because he probably expects his first pick to be sniped. So Khmer was his first pick. And on TaToH's side, it was his, what you can say, fourth pick. So I don't think TaToH is going to beat himself too much down from losing this, because on paper you could argue he had a civ disadvantage. So I think mentally TaToH is still feeling pretty good about this, and he has some really strong civs as well himself.
Yeah, he does. And they're TaToH-esque civilizations, right? The Cumans was on there, the Poles were on there. We have some more closed maps, some maps where Liereyy has maybe struggled a little bit more. Again, obviously very good on everything. So TaToH looking to his strategy book, maybe, or just looking down at the ground. I'm not too sure. There's now isn't that the sad hippo?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's production being upset that we called them out.
They should be. They should be.
Yeah, seriously. Sorry, production, you know. But anyways, TaToH thinking things through, because he does get to choose not only from his home maps, but from Lierey's home maps. You probably assume on some level, if you're going to beat Liereyy today, it's going to go to 4 or 5 games, potentially, right? So my question to you is, because I kind of brought this up the other day. Let's say there's a map where it's quite difficult for Liereyy to predict the Civ. Like, it could be 1 of 2 or 1 of 3, right? Do you opt for those maps now, even if you're not the most comfortable on the map, because it's harder for them to predict your Civ, or do you just always play your best map, best Civ?
I think it depends where you're at mentally as well in the series, right? If you, let's say now TaToH come out of this game and he feels like, oh, I didn't feel like I played too well here, so then you probably don't want to go for an open, aggressive map, especially against a player like Liereyy. So then you might more lean towards the closed map, like Arena maybe. I know Hippo Arena is one of the maps there, so maybe that's a map you go to where it's like, okay, I can focus a bit on booming and then, like, you know, still get time to get going. Because on Arena you don't have the early aggression necessarily, or the necessity to micro so much in the early game. So I think it depends a lot on where you're feeling, how well you felt you played in the first game, even despite the loss.
TaToH, number 4 in all-time earnings. You know, I don't have like a prediction thing. I don't pay attention to that too much. He's done well for himself the last couple of years, man. That's awesome. I guess the Red Bull win obviously is huge, right? Red Bull definitely helped out with that. But number 4 and number 3 with total earnings there is cool to see.
All right, so I did talk with TaToH about after the draft. I talked with him, like we were predicting a bit where Liereyy was going to use his civs. Arena was one of the maps where we weren't sure exactly where Liereyy what he will play, because he had different options like Gujarat, Hindustanis. So I think TaToH in the end, obviously super comfortable with Poles. He loved the civilization, and I'm not really sure how this plays out in Imperial Age, because Hindustanis have the 8-9 range hand cannons that are super strong. They have Imperial Age camels, they have Gulam. But Poles, I mean, I don't think anyone wants to go up and imp against Poles.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could say the same with Hindustanis. You know, the thing about the Hindustanis, I think, is if they have their time to get to their ultimate comps, it's probably superior. Imperial Camel with maybe the 9-range hand cannoneers, just, I think that's better against cheap Cavalier missing upgrades and maybe like Olbuk or something. And this is why I'm getting so excited right now, VIPER, because TaToH does something. I don't know if it's better than anyone else. I think just more frequently than anyone else. If you didn't watch TaToH play on this map with Khmer yesterday, put that on the top of your list to watch, because he wanted to go full boom into Ballista Elephants, but instead of just full booming and not taking map control, he went 3 stable light cap, took a ton of the map control because there's golds and stones everywhere. And so that's got me thinking right now, if the Hindustanis' composition is maybe stronger, if they have time, what about like a little all-in from TaToH here? Whether it's early imp, which obviously it's kind of hard to do all-in Castle Age because of the walls, but I'm just hoping and expecting a lot of production from TaToH to deny those extra resources from Liereyy.
Yeah, if you look at the map here as well, like if you look, like the screen we're seeing right now, that is the whole base of Liereyy. So if you don't get out on the map, you're pretty much trapped. And there's, like, compared to the normal Arena version, you usually have a lot more space in the back where you can do farming and just like utilize the space for even production buildings. Here is like, if you place farms in the back, you have to place the production buildings on the front as well. So if you don't have any map control to move out on the map whatsoever, you're just in a really awkward spot. And like you said, all-in potential for TaToH. Well, Poles have Schlachter privileges in the Castle Age.
Yeah, so, it's a crazy technology.
Not impossible.
Yeah, and then the unique unit as well. And I mean, there's just a number of things that we could mention. You know, funny little note about TaToH's eco here, because I don't know if it's bothering you, the house placement. But like, I think in an ideal world these days, your first 2 houses, you might not want to be far away from your TC with poles, because every farm with poles should be around the full work due to the food boost you get. So it's just kind of funny to me looking at this, because I know TaToH's like, can we restart? Can I start over? Because I talked to Vinchester. Well, I was watching one of the games earlier with Vinchester, and Vinchester was like, he said the exact same. He's like, anytime that happens, my whole game is ruined. He's like, I immediately lose all confidence. He's like, I hate it so much.
The issue here is that you start with those houses, so you don't build them yourself even. So you kind of have to work around them. You never want to delete the house either. So it's like, sometimes you might even do it just as soon as you're in Castle Age. You know, you're not going to be pop capped. Just to get those perfect farms.
You start with 2?
Yeah, you start with 2 houses.
You would have to start with 2,
So those 2 that were on the sides, the far out where you would like to maybe have full work, those were started there. As you can see, TaToH built the next one right next to his town center.
But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to do a deleted house counts, right? He's probably going to end up deleting like 2, but like at some point those houses are going to go, and we'll see if he has population space at that time.
Look at this map as well. Like it's just, if you look here, there's so much open space to build perfect folwarks. So Poles are a delight to play here.
Yeah, I'm looking. I don't know if he's left I don't want. Oh, I think he's over there. I'm going to say it anyways. Thankfully, he's not going to have to delete as many houses as Jordan did yesterday. Jordan deleted like more houses than I had ever seen.
And the market.
He's not. I don't think they can hear me over there. This is really good. So
he's eating, so he's definitely busy.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
He's always eating. Anyway, yeah, those house deletions were funny.
Oh man. So TaToH, he has collected a little bit of gold. I think that's so he can sell 100 stone. If you're the first to sell 100 stone, you're getting 91 gold back, so he would be above 200. Still a little confused why he's... Oh, he must have villagers on...
His pulse.
He's literally mining stuff. Okay, a little embarrassing. I'm so sorry. I'm like going to this trick that isn't even relevant here. Okay, anyways, we're going to back up. Production, if we could edit that out, please, that'd be great.
Please highlight it.
It's going to be clipped and sent everywhere.
Yep.
Man, why did my brain go to the more complicated option there? Anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is he's going to sell a bit of stone. He's going to recoup the loss by mining it. And we're going to see fast castle from both here. And it seems like the trend, Viper, here versus all the other versions of Arena that we've seen over the past year or two is like it's a lot more boom-oriented.
Yeah.
We're very frequently seeing players not even out of stable.
Yeah, I mean, the relics are quite... I mean, if you compare the middle here compared to normal Arena, there's so much more space.
Whoa.
And the relics... Wait, who's that?
This stat 1-0? That's convincing. Woo!
100%. And it was even against humans, so I would consider a pretty damn strong sitter.
Sheesh, so. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
But back to my point, the relics are so far and spread here, so it kind of makes sense to maybe not fight for relics sometimes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a long distance to travel, and I agree with you, right? Like, I think the other thing we're not seeing as much are the all-in pushes. I know that you had done an all-in push in some type of show match, I believe, with Portuguese against Burgundians. But I watched it, and take no offense to this, and I was just like, that should never work. So it's interesting now how everyone clearly has kind of taken that off their strategy sheet at this point. It's like, we need economy.
Or, I mean, Portuguese, they were banned right away. So, I mean, they're not an option here.
Yeah,
I was Portuguese there. I went to the castle drop organ guns.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still one of the go-to strategies on most arena maps. So
yeah, it is strong.
I think it's still possible, but yeah, there's so much like walking distance here to get to the enemy base to even get there. And what if you open stable and scout, suddenly he has 2-3 light cav on your bills. So it's super risky, but sometimes you want to take some risky approaches.
I mean, we did have some Portuguese shenanigans earlier. For those that are upset with my comments, like 5 Fatorias or 4 Fatorias in his base.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a crazy game there. So that was a fun one today. But yeah, it looks like we're going to see things line up perfectly for TaToH to add 2 town centers immediately. Okay, Viper, if you only have the resources for either the second farm upgrade or the wood upgrade, what do you get with pulls?
If I'm booming, probably, I mean, with pulls, farming upgrade no matter what.
Okay.
But in general, if you're booming and you're about to start massing farms, I think you always want to go for a heavy plow.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be long-term more beneficial.
Oh, okay. TaToH, it looked like he saw that.
Yeah, he didn't want to take the fight, though, just in case, because TaToH doesn't know yet if Liereyy is adding stable or not, so he doesn't want to risk losing any HP.
Okay, interesting. Did delete a house.
Oh!
There we go. That's one. Hype. Hey, he's making more houses.
Why did he delete it already?
TC!
The farm TC.
Whoa, it's a farm TC. Okay, did you guys discuss this at all?
No, last time I saw this was like a 900 elo game.
Yeah.
Maybe a low elo Legends of yours.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I'm not... It is a first for me. I get a little excited about it because it's polls. But you have to have your TC. In my opinion, you have to have your TCs on a wood line.
Yeah.
When you're going for a crazy farm boom.
I think one thing to... I mean, small thing, obviously, but the walking distance to build the TC was minimal, right? He just build it right away, so you save some walking distance.
Can we get, Vodka, can we switch to worker efficiency at the bottom right? Watch this, ready? Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
last minute.
That 2%. Woo.
Last minute, 2%, baby. Thank you, Vodka.
Yeah. But I mean, like, TaToH is putting 1 TC on golden wood, so he will have enough wood income. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense to leave all the other space open for farming, right? It makes sense.
I'll be curious, you know, we have a lot of time to talk about this on Arena. Be very curious to see if he's sending villagers from either of those TCs to wood anyways, right? Because sometimes you end up having to do that. But TaToH is the weaker scout in the middle, will need to flee. He should be on the way back to his base right now. And then for Liereyy, he's got the cheaper villagers, so he doesn't have to be so fancy with the farms. Right now, the polls have collected more resources, as you would expect. But I think that 4, maybe even 5 TC boom could be a breeze for Liereyy.
Yeah, but TaToH is still taking stones. I would expect him to add a 4th TC as well.
Yep.
Because he's expecting Hindustani to add a 4th TC as well. My question, though, is where is he going to place his 4th TC?
Well,
that's going to be
a very good question.
Right next to the 3rd TC?
Oh, man. You know, Viper, I know you watch every single one of my videos, but just in case you never saw the Force Nothing video, they had 4 TCs all like grouped up together in like a square, right? And there's a visual bug where the awnings like overlap each other. It looks really weird. Oh. Yeah, it's super weird.
Sounds fun though.
Yeah, I can tell you watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Every video. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that, unfortunately. But
look at the resource collected. Damn, 700 already, and that's against Hindustani, so has cheaper villagers. So on paper, you can argue they get those villages out faster as well.
Ooh, so remember that little conversation we had on map control? TaToH gonna drop a barracks now. So he's probably going to think about a stable and a couple extra scouts, and we don't have Liereyy thinking about that at all. He's on 4 TCs.
Yeah, so TaToH not going for a 4th TC at the moment, and he has now 8, 9 vills on stone, 10 vills on stone.
Ooh.
This looks like a castle, and you know what? If he takes map control now with a couple of stables, I would expect that castle to be right outside of Liereyy's gates.
And I think it could even be multi-stable production into Lierey's base. I love this about TaToH, and I think, you know, based on how the previous game went, where they kind of had similar plans in the mid-game, Liereyy felt very comfortable with that. And, I mean, there was even a game the other day, I think I was casting ACCM Hera, and ACCM did a couple what many would consider suboptimal plays, but it was a play that had to make Hera think once or twice, like, well, what is that? And I've got to make army here when I don't usually do it. Right. I think there's some benefit to the awkwardness that this could present to Liereyy.
Yeah. Oh, TaToH actually is making some spearmen, so no stable yet. He made a monastery as well. He healed up his scout, and now he's moving out on the map again. And I mean, if you pick up 3-4 relics kind of for free, that's obviously massive. Village count exactly the same at the moment. And TaToH is kind of getting map control in quotes for free right now.
I don't know if we have stats on it. It's really hard to track, but I feel like every time I've seen someone come forward with the castle, granted it has been a lot of fast imp into trebuchets, that player has won. I remember Yo doing it in one series. I remember Hera doing it in the previous series. I think he did lose both of his castles, but he still ended up winning. So, like, the forward castle pressure has looked pretty good, results-wise.
Yeah, that's to the point I brought up earlier, where you just have a lack of space in your base. It just becomes so awkward to play if there's a castle there, like, forcing you to stay inside your base with the limited space you have. It's just really, really tough to make the right decisions from there.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll see if TaToH is going to run forward. There he goes. Great timing for wheelbarrow.
Yes.
That's necessary because those villagers are going to need a little bit more speed.
Ooh, pikeman upgrade.
And he's gone for the university, too. I was thinking with the university that maybe he wanted to click up to Imp.
Right now, my brain tells me that this is going to be pikeman either into Imp and then Cavalier spam, maybe Arbalest even, or just full pikeman and Schlachter privileges and Knight spam in Castle Age. All in.
Okay, yeah, because like the thing about pikes is it doesn't feel great long term, woo 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 or rah rah there, whatever. But yeah, I mean you don't get halberdier with the poles, so it just feels like the pikeman's not the best long term play.
Liereyy did make an outpost though. He knows that TaToH has added a barrack and a monastery because that scout had full HP.
Yep.
And now he sees the village as
that
well.
Outpost is epic too, right? That's like the perfect outpost. He must have town watch.
Yeah, for sure.
My favorite thing is you just know they've spent the last 20 minutes working on that. It's not like, because we talked about that a while ago. Is that a tower? Is he dropping a tower? No, not against poles.
Oh, with the monk trick? Ooh, this, like both of them are going to spend the next 2 minutes clicking here.
Yeah.
I don't think a tower is enough anyway to like deny 15 villagers from getting a castle up, but I mean, this is definitely annoying to deal with, right?
Look at TaToH. His head went down and with more focus.
TaToH was able to click Imp behind this, by the way. Liereyy, look at Liereyy's resources. This is definitely distracting him, right?
Yeah, it is. By the way, one monk.
Can we get the POV of TaToH, please?
Yeah, well, too late, I guess.
Oh, wish they had.
And now he's like suddenly so relaxed. He's like, oh, that's so nice.
I want to see if he actually even switched the screen once. Liereyy on the way to Imp now as well. There's a 40-second advantage for TaToH. TaToH doing fletching. Could be just for the castle, but not impossible that we have an Arbalest switch here, opening rather, for TaToH.
But also with that position, right, and there's the range for VIPER, I think Forward Siege Workshop is needed for bombard cannons.
Right, yeah. It's very likely that Liereyy will do chemistry, because this is now a situation where they both are going to have a castle, pretty much kissing each other a little bit. So it becomes all about trebuchets, bomber cannons, and both of these cities have access to it. And for Hindustanis, you probably want to go the chemistry route anyway to get access to hand cannoners. So yeah, ooh, Stonewall.
I would love to see TaToH with one villager in the north and one villager in the south making some outposts right now.
Yeah, agreed.
Because you really cannot allow your opponent to escape to extra resources.
Look what Liereyy is doing here. Liereyy is thinking this could be Schlachter privileges.
Huh.
He's walling up so the knights cannot just run and overrun his base.
That's such a big escape, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's such a big heads-up play. I would drop a town center there. It looks like he's going to do it.
This is where you can argue that TaToH, considering the map control he had, he should have definitely had vision of this.
Absolutely. But he is going to have the relics.
Yep.
And there might be a point in this game, if Lierey's putting up more of a fight than TaToH thought he could afford, where TaToH's like, wait a second, let's double check. 2 castles will be there for TaToH. He's going to drop this one even further.
Liereyy doesn't even have stone for 1 castle even.
Oh boy, that could be rough.
That tower he invested actually could have been the stone he needed for a castle himself.
That's true, yeah.
This is going to be super hard for Liereyy to deal with now, because like he's going to lose so much production buildings, he's going to lose so much access to farms, and TaToH is looking in a fantastic spot. And you see first upgrade Imp, crop rotation.
Yeah, and you know, I remember Hera doing that with Khmer earlier too. It was epic to see. And you know, I think at the very least, even if TaToH loses this position, it's just going to take Liereyy so long to take it out.
Yeah.
And it gives TaToH time to get up above 30 farmers to maybe like 40, 50, get into something like Arbalest, which we've talked about. So great. Not an all-in from TaToH, but oh my goodness. That university, I don't think that's going to complete chemistry. It's going to be a nail-biter VIPER.
I think, oh, the trebuchet is hitting it. TaToH with the next
no way!
Forehead.
No way!
That is like, not many people would actually think about that in the heat of the moment, so that is super impressive by TaToH.
Yeah, and because it takes so long to research chemistry.
Yeah, and now he has to build a university again.
And chemistry is what is going to get Liereyy out of this hole with bombard cannons. That is sick.
TaToH as well, with the prediction. Look at Liereyy, he's doing heavy camel. He's preparing to counter those Cavalier. Guess what's coming? Arbalest for TaToH.
Arbalest, yep. And you know, the only sad thing for TaToH, and this is maybe why he took out the university.
He scouted it.
Because he didn't actually see the castle, excuse me.
Right.
He does see that, though.
Yeah.
He does see that. So he should be shifting over there soon with something.
I think maybe if you're TaToH, you just ignore it. Go for the kill.
Yeah.
Right, you have everything here now. You have a great position right in Lierey's base. I think trying to now divert your attention to the top side might not be worth it.
And I think, particularly with this army comp, if he had 6 stables, send something there, right? But considering he's going ranges, it's a slower unit type, and he's already in such a good position, definitely make the move here.
You know, another thing I really love what TaToH is doing here, he built a TC with those 4 villagers on the half of Lierey's side. So he's technically taking away resources now that Liereyy would probably use in the long term as well.
He's even dropping another TC as well. On gold or stone there, I can't really tell. It's going to be stone, and that stone's going to be valuable. He actually ran out of stone in his base, and Liereyy looked for the stone miners with the camels to the south of TaToH's base. That was good heads-up play from Liereyy, but he just couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So is chemistry in now? It's still not in.
Oh
my god.
That's frustrating for Liereyy, but I mean, that's just hats off for TaToH for even thinking about that.
And that's a very TaToH thing, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like more players need to do that because it's bomber cannon so frequently. If there's a university, I use one of them to go for it. And thank you, stats guys, for.
Did you know that?
Honestly, first time. Yeah, first time I've ever heard that. So.
Okay, if Liereyy is able to stabilize now, though, and it becomes kind of a stalemated situation, I mean, 3 trebuchets already, I think this is not going to be a stalemate. Oh, Liereyy was building up a trebuchet count as well. But I think at some point here, if Liereyy actually somehow stabilizes, which is looking really tough right now, I think TaToH will have to start considering going to the top as well.
Yeah. I guess because your Cav's so cheap, you could still consider it. But I think you skip privileges if this game goes on long term. Yeah. And you go for the winged hussars instead. What do you think?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Get the mobility.
Yeah, you have the trample damage. You then saving gold for the trebs, for the Obluk, for the Arbs.
Ooh, the bomber cannons are exposed. The thing is, like, Liereyy has no units right now that deals with the army that TaToH has. Arbalest, they take care of both hand cannons and heavy camels.
Yep. Yeah, this might not go on much longer here, and TaToH knows that he can go in with the TC, no problem. Hasn't gotten the other bomber cannon, but just getting one was more than worth it as the trebuchets are rolling to the corner of the map. That's not the direction you want to be going if you're Liereyy.
Yeah, and Liereyy built a second castle now on the top, like a really desperate castle still in his base, but TaToH just retargeting his trebs. Actually, no, the trebs are not targeting the castle, right? Oh,
No,
TaToH probably doesn't see it yet.
No. And maybe he'll see the other university.
Oh, he does see it.
He'll go for the castle then. Upgrades coming in. Upgrades for different unit types. And TaToH didn't realize that, but those villagers are like, let's choose a different spot. I have to say, though, Liereyy, while he still needs to engage against this army and it's looking tough, he's given himself a chance by expanding.
Yes, but TaToH right now more than double the military units as well. I feel like TaToH is just in a position where he can steamroll.
Yeah.
Nice split as well to dodge the cannonballs. And I mean, if those traps go uncontested for too long, that castle is going to be a goner, and there's going to be a free path into the remaining economy of Liereyy.
Also, castle going up in the expanded economy. TaToH also researched treadmill crane, so he builds faster. So treadmill crane hype. I've been saying recently that I actually feel like it's underrated tech.
Yeah.
Like I think with how important production is and castles can be, that you need to get that. But let's see if Liereyy can keep his castle up. He will lose the castle. He will also lose his light cap here to take out. I think he's going to get all 3 trips.
Yeah, he gets all 3, but even then TaToH is happy. He took out both the castles, and TaToH is making a killer of a castle on the top as well. That's just like giving him a ramp into the whole expansion of Liereyy, and Liereyy calls it.
Yeah, that was really good from TaToH. Now, I love the early aggression. Again, another game where that early castle, fast imp pressure makes the difference. I wish that's one where we could, have saved it right when TaToH made it to imp. Oh, here we go. Here's all the clicking.
This is it.
Let's see if TaToH looks anywhere else.
I think he only selects the TC once to go imp. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Does he even Q Vills?
You're going to build this castle. Yeah, exactly.
Look, he's clicking so much.
This is peak Age of Empires, guys.
Oh, yeah. 1 or 2 monks, by the way. Like, it's so obnoxious.
Now
look at the monks.
Okay, now Lierey's POV.
Yeah, I would love to see Lierey's as well. I bet you actually, it has to be the same for Liereyy, right? Okay, they didn't prep that for us. We have a little bit of smirk there for Liereyy at the moment, so he's laughing at something. But anyways, that was a good game.
Yeah, for sure.
To cover in the series.
I mean, not on paper, not a lot of the stuff happened on the surface if you view it from the.
Sure.
Oh, Liereyy. There we go. Here we go. Let's see. Look, he's holding Alt with his left thumb. He's holding Alt to ignore the building foundation and just spam clicking. Go imp, you're housed. Go imp, do something. Okay, actually queued some bills. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. And
then we're back.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man. That was fantastic.
Quality Age of Empires.
Yeah, best micro in that entire game from both.
But yeah, let's go back to the game a little bit. Like TaToH I think that was textbook Pulse gameplay, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it was so cool to see, like, everything about that was set up towards it, right? The university. When he was making that university, I was like, oh, you're also at the barracks, you're also getting pikemen. I was a little confused. But by the time he got there, the resources were there for imp.
Yeah.
The timing was perfect. I feel like, many other players, they get the 700 food, they get the 600 gold, then they're running forward.
Right.
They don't have double castle when they make it to imp. Like, the timing's just not quite as intense there. But, to finish my point, I do wonder if we could replay that with TaToH trebbing the TCs instead of the university, how that plays out.
I still think TaToH just had such a big army lead that he would still be able to make sure the bomber cannons don't get on top of the trebuchets.
Yeah, sure.
So I still think TaToH in the end would have won no matter what, but still, it's obviously incredible gameplay to already snipe that university so fast.
Yeah,
anyway,
sure.
Kawasan,
wow. And yeah, we've got Japanese versus Italians, 2 of the best civilizations possibly for this map. We do have a pause here, and TaToH's saying something, so he's like, hey, are you having this issue too? Or maybe I'm not seeing something. Quick resource check.
I mean, you're supposed to be able to see both your boars, I think, so maybe he doesn't see his boar. And now he's asking Liereyy, do you see your boar?
Sure. Yeah, maybe we're going to have someone dash over there and see what's going on.
Oh, Dash is going there?
Well, nice. That's not what I meant exactly. But I say that because Nili sprinted earlier, but it seems like whatever it is, they're like, okay, let's just restart this.
I think Nili is going to get a verbal warning for this. That's a little slow.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it was like missing a boar, missing something, and they're just...
Yeah, it seems like they both agreed, yeah, let's just restart.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Nili didn't really dash. He just kind of half-heartedly walked. So
he didn't start walking, though, until they were done.
Until we called him out, really.
When there's a pause, shouldn't he already dash?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This isn't, dash AC4. Or, no, that was bad. Anyways, we move on.
Move on.
Japanese, Italians. We'll have a bit of extra time to talk about it here. Both have really good bonuses for this. It's cheaper to go up to each age with Italians, cheaper fishing ships, cheaper dock techs. Just perfect for any map that incorporates water.
Right.
Also great archers, so that's going to be great for TaToH. And then the Japanese, cheaper lumber camps, mining camps, mills. Good flexibility, tanky fishing ships we saw you using earlier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't go wrong with either of these civilizations.
Yeah, Japanese fishing ships aren't only tanky, they also fish faster. So it's like a gather bonus there on top of it as well. So, I mean, both these civs incredibly strong on water, which also is an indicator that both of these will prioritize water on this map. I would be surprised to see one of them just completely neglect it. But, I mean, we've seen Liereyy do it before. So, and with Japanese, you have, again, that flexibility because the economic buildings such as lumber camps, etc., are quite cheap, so you can possibly afford that barracks and range in addition to maybe doing some competitive fire ships as well. But yeah, time will tell. Okay,
so they're both going to separate pawns. Does this benefit one of them over the other?
If there was Byzantines in this game, I would say yes, but there's no Byzantines.
So you don't think it makes much of a difference?
But obviously, some civs might, it depends on their strategy, right? If
of course.
Liereyy, for example, wants to do the... TaToH's doing Loom, by the way, so he's playing this super safe. But yeah, if Liereyy wants to also do...
housed slightly, I think.
Oh, was he housed?
For like half
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he has 0 seconds idle TC, so I'm not sure.
Maybe not, yeah.
Maybe just wanted to play it safe. But anyway, Japanese, for example, let's say Liereyy wants to also do some land shenanigans, then the fact that they have different docking locations is actually quite good for him, because TaToH will have to make a big investment to even try and compete in the other pond.
Yep. Okay,
What's
so
this?
On behalf of the official NAC 4 production team, we offer our sincere apologies for the slow admin dash. We want to assure you that we are taking steps to prevent this from happening again. Thank you for understanding. All right, thank you, guys. I think people can accept that apology, right?
Yeah, but we should not let Nili get off this easy, I think. Still.
I agree, seriously. Yeah. I mean, come on. I think maybe the tournament host should fire the guy.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, I got a verbal warning myself these days. So
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I drafted too late. So
oh yeah.
There's no hesitation. He came to me this morning. By the way, you have a verbal warning. What did I do?
I mean, you know what's funny is like I'm part of that discussion, right? Like Nili's idea prior to this event is like, I think the casters that aren't casting are the admins, and I was like, oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if I went in on this council here. So yeah. Anyways,
you don't want to be responsible. I mean, players, don't worry. We don't feel or think bad about if we get admin decisions against us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were late though. Like
I was late.
Yeah. So
I accepted it. I deserved it. It's fine.
Well, they are in different locations currently. If we could see the scouting from both players on those shorelines, because this is huge. If you have a strategy surrounding killing someone's fish, you need to know. Now Liereyy knows, and I'd like to see the same from TaToH as well, if possible. TaToH's vision, currently, I mean, he hasn't even tried to really scout. In fact, his scout is going home to push deer, so this is a bit unlike any other map. Any other build I've seen on this map.
Yeah, he also went up with only one fishing ship and just now adding fishing ships again, so...
Admin win or admin warning because TaToH's late to adding fish?
Yeah, this is not how this seems a bit strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to dock the pond of Liereyy, and Liereyy doesn't have vision of it yet. But yeah, I agree with you though. I would like in TaToH's shoes to maybe get a confirmation. Like TaToH actually doesn't. Like, can we see TaToH's POV again?
I think he
knows.
Did
he do one? Okay, he did a circle around his own.
He did a circle around his own, so he at least knows that much. Obviously, there's going to be some fish there for Liereyy, so I guess he just used process of elimination there.
Exactly. And even a second dock. So this is a huge commitment on water for TaToH.
Yeah.
He is pretty much saying that he is going to win.
Oh. No, he'll find it,
He has to go down. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's going to see one. Some players will go 2 docks on their own pond here.
Liereyy, though. Do we have a barracks for him? No, Liereyy is docking TaToH's pond. This is about to get wild.
This is about to get super wild, right? And so it's double dock defense for Liereyy. He won't have 2 right away, but TaToH doesn't have 2 right away there either.
Yeah, the good thing for Liereyy, though, is that his ships are so tanky, right? So he has that buffer of time.
The thing that gets interesting in this matchup, I think, is if both players have even economic positions heading towards Castle Age, because it is cheaper for the Italians to get there, and the Italians just feel like the superior civ with the way their tech tree flows. But
as the game goes on, they also have bomber cannons, for example, in Imperial Age. But the big thing here, I would say, look at the resources collected. Already 300 more for Liereyy. That is huge. Liereyy had 4 fishing ships in the Dark Age. TaToH was only on 1 and added a second one on the way to Feudal Age. So.
And you're going to need to take berries and deer and other things, and having the cheap mill is invaluable in these situations. So I would say Lierey's going to be liking his position. He's just going to be happy to use his own fishing ships to block, which is possible. You somehow don't burn your own fishing ships.
Indeed. I mean, I would probably favor Lierey's spot here, though, because he has still safe fish. He has time to get 1 or 2 fires out. If he gets overwhelmed here, though, and loses his pond, as long as he deals damage on the other side. Did he go for a demo on the bottom?
TaToH's going double demo in the top, I think.
Well, TaToH's losing his fish himself now with like a minimal investment from Liereyy.
1 demo,
there.
bam. I don't think Liereyy would expect the second demo. I know it's TaToH, but normally you just have a demo here or there to accompany the main fights with the fires.
Oh, and Liereyy using the fishing ships, as they are so tanky, is using them to block and help tank the fire.
Oh, man.
Looking really good for Liereyy so far, I would say. Still has the second dock, he has the villager repairing, the scouts are fighting now. But TaToH, it's a slight initiative on top, but the issue here is still that his fish is still... He has lost his fish.
He's lost his fish.
But Lierey's fish is still working.
Yeah.
Nice micro.
That demo gets the kill. There's a demo coming in here. Will Liereyy see this? Big demo? The TaToH needs this, and that's a nice one.
Yeah, and TaToH doing a nice move as well, where he's pulling his fire ships behind the dock, so the dock is actually helping to tank. And Liereyy immediately starting to fish on the other side. He knows he has won that pond.
Yeah, and I don't even think you need to fish that much. Just like 1 or 2 fishing ships, just slight edges, and again, get an advantage heading towards Castle Age. You see TaToH's been on some deer on the left. He's taking the berries on the right. I'm sure Lierey's doing a lot of the same at his base.
I just noticed that TaToH didn't find 2 of his sheep, so maybe that's why he went back to push the deer, because he felt like he was a little bit lacking.
Yeah, I think I see them, and they're at the front of his base too, right?
Exactly. So Liereyy is more likely
Could we
to
see his
find
vision on that, Vodka? Will we get a chance? I know it's like a little late. Ooh, yeah, that's that's painful.
Yeah. And it looks like TaToH lost the scout fight as well, so Liereyy now can scout and react and adapt to everything that TaToH is doing. So.
And there's a sense of paranoia when you see Lierey's scout here. TaToH almost kills it, but if Lierey's showing up and scouting all your resources very intently, you think he might have a barracks, and it's even possible he will have a barracks right now. So it's a bit of a guessing game right now.
I think TaToH can see, though, how much Liereyy has made on water. Like, there's so many fires, so many demos, even on dock in his own pond. I think he will realize that there's probably not a barrack and archer play going on right now. But, I mean, you never know.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, it just feels like Lierey's just had an edge ever since Feudal Age has begun here. We see a demo land. If TaToH has a demo in there, it could be huge to recover. No, it's just a fire ship. And he doesn't have his repairs in here, and Liereyy really snowballing this in the north.
Could be a big demo hit there, though. Could turn the tide. Ooh, nice save of the low HP fire by TaToH there. Oh, but there's a demo coming from Liereyy as well.
Wow, Lierey's played so good with the micro in these tight spaces, right? Like, I'm guessing 95% of people who are watching this right now avoid water maps like the plague. But if you've never tried to micro fire ships away from demos like that, it's clunky, right? It's not that easy to do. And you look away for a second, and suddenly you lose all your advantage. So the fact that Lierey's been on top of it after already winning in the south as well is just huge.
And the thing is now TaToH has to make a barrack just in case Liereyy is making one, right? Well, Liereyy sees, oh, he's adding a barracks. Well, maybe I'll just add a market blacksmith and go Castle Age. Yeah, but do you see what TaToH is doing there on the top? He can actually, there's actually high ground on the water. So the spot where he's sitting with his ships right now actually has high ground. So he's been microing them back there in order to take better trades.
The little nerd, that is. I mean, I wish I could interview Liereyy about this right now. I was like, oh, he's got a hill on the leg, you know? Lierey's probably like, what is that? But
it's the same on the right side of the right dock as well.
That's true, yeah.
It's elevated area.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I actually, like, I don't think that's a new thing, but I think it's the first time that I've actually seen players really taking advantage of it.
I have not seen it much on this map, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
the map's been around a long time. That's the first I've really noticed it.
Yeah. Looking at the resources, though, Liereyy is getting very... big demo. Liereyy is getting very close to Castle Age as well. TaToH, even though he's Italian, he has that cheaper advancing cost, but he's still far away.
Yeah, seriously. Again, needs another demo. Vodka, this is going to be risky for us. I don't even know if you know this is available. Hold on. Demo. Oh, that would be a juicy demo.
And
I know it's uphill.
The villager is there as well.
I know it's uphill, but TaToH, how's it feel? How's it feel after all the demos on Liereyy over the years?
Another one coming from both sides. Okay, this should be. The villager goes down, the last fires go down, and the water is officially won by Liereyy on both ponds in Kawazan. And that, my friend, it's a very good spot to be in.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so all I wanted is I wanted to see the docks and the work rate on them. Because look at Lierey's. Like, double-click the docks, Vodka. There's the percentage above the HP at the bottom left. Click that. He's going to hate me, so click it. Yeah, click it. There, look, you can see the all-time work percentage. I wanted to compare that. TaToH was not producing as consistently earlier, was kind of my point. So I'm not sure about TaToH's here, Vodka. There we go, 5% difference. Sorry, I feel bad about that, but it did seem like the micro was slightly better for Liereyy, and the production was better for Liereyy.
Yeah. We saw Liereyy with maybe the only slip-up so far in this game was his market was quite late. So he clicked up to Castle Age with over 1,000 food.
Okay.
Obviously not a big deal at this stage, but worth pointing out sometimes.
Yeah.
When people play pretty good Age of Empires, it's also nice to notice that they are human.
Yeah, and also nice to notice 5% difference in the production of
Yes,
dogs.
yeah, that's very important as well.
I was hoping it'd be like 15%, you know, but
yeah.
It's all right. It's fine. But, you know, I like how Liereyy is walling because there could be the potential for some type of sneak. Vodka, if you want to remove that, you got to click the percentage thing again, by the way. But go ahead, Viper.
Is that a second stable for Liereyy? I think so, right? So double stable from his base. I'm surprised considering the vision he has had that he hasn't made those more forward. Because he has had the vision all time here of what TaToH is doing, so he would have the freedom to go and place those stables wherever he wants to.
I love the Scout Edition, though. Right? Remember Game 1 where he added the light cab upgrade really early? Like, that's so nice. So I'm a big fan of the decisions from him. For TaToH, I think he's going to recognize he is behind right now, and I think any engagement he takes is going to have to be a good one for him to have a chance here.
Yeah, Liereyy now pulling ahead with over 1,200 more resources collected, and that's going to keep adding up as long as the deep fish is available at least.
Yep.
We'll see if Liereyy also transitions to fish traps later, but yeah, now he's sending those scouts out, wants to take the map control back, and the villagers are following, where probably expect a town center on the middle. Could be monasteries, could be Seed Workshop, depends on how Liereyy wants to proceed.
Yep, 3 scouts versus 1. TaToH will see this. He's got villagers up there, so he's going to need to either wall them or keep the scouts away. Spearman will get some valuable hits. Spearman will end up going down, though, without
it's still alive.
anything.
Oh, okay. He almost forgot killing it there. And
well,
that's not going to work.
Actually, there's not. I guess he can place it to the north of it. Okay, UTC that.
That's
stable.
still, I mean, who builds a TC like that unless they feel like they're real in the lead?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right next to the stable.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were like, maybe I should back away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good micro here from Liereyy as he's going to keep his light cav alive. So did upgrade to light cav.
The great thing for Liereyy here as well is that, yes, he has an economic lead, but he's also playing exactly the same unit type that TaToH is going for. TaToH added a stable, Lierey's playing stable, but Liereyy has the better economy. Yeah,
and like the thing that can swing the difference in stable units is oftentimes monks.
Yep.
He already has light cav, which is great for the monks, and he had his monastery faster. So unfortunately for TaToH, it's like, you almost need to hope that Liereyy doesn't gain so big of an advantage he kills you here, and then have it get late, because that's when, as you said, Italian's getting bombard cannon, and the stronger arbalest between the two civilizations can be helpful.
Yeah, for sure. TaToH has to react quickly here. Those light cav are coming. He has some spares in place, so he's going to be fine there. But yeah, I mean, Italians in Imperial Age probably are better. You have access to Condottiero as well.
Yeah, I think they're way better, right? They also get Hussar.
Yeah.
More armor.
Bomber cannon is the big thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at this point, will that game ever get there? I don't think Liereyy wants that to happen, so we'll see how Liereyy decides to try and at least take such a convincing lead that he cannot lose from there.
Yep. Monastery from TaToH there. TaToH did go to 3 TCs right away. And he's done a great job with damage control here. This is impressive. The Spearman will chase the light cav. Those villagers are all protected there.
Yeah, but it's still, there are 3 light cav on the map, 7 knights already on the map as well. It's going to be so hard for TaToH to not take any damage here, even if he gets monks out, because of that light cav play from Liereyy. So
the thing that's impressive here, viewers, is not the fact that the quick walls are going down, but it's the fact that the villagers go immediately back to work. Like, that is a step that so many people miss. So they might save their villagers, and then their villagers, they might as well be dead because they don't work for another 2 to 3 minutes. So it's all immediate here from TaToH, which has really impressed me. And also the garrisons are quite fast as well here, Viper, so really giving himself a chance here. Yeah,
but Liereyy is fine with this, right? He has +1 armor, he has blood. No, he doesn't have bloodlines, actually. But still, he doesn't mind idling, like, as long as he idles the villagers, right? As long as he doesn't lose the knight, he can always pull them back to heal and just constantly dive back in and out, force TaToH to idle, and in the meantime, his economy is working fluently at home. Although, I have to say, TaToH has already pulled ahead in villagers. So if TaToH actually manages to stabilize here, not looking too bad.
Yeah, and what you'd want in TaToH's position is maybe a couple conversions, and instead of conversions on the knights, when the knights could just be converted back, he's actually going for really early redemption here, because he knows the siege is going to be coming.
Exactly, he sees it, he knows his garrison, he knows his only answer at this point. He cannot match him in knights, he cannot make crossbows from here. His only reaction and only answer would be monks with probably pikeman defense.
But this is crazy, right? It's not going to be Mangonel, it's going to be Ram. And to convert a Mangonel, you can do it from the max range of the monk.
Right.
To convert a Ram, you'd have to stand right next to it. Which is very awkward for the monks. So this will be interesting because we very rarely see a Castellade Ram push because villagers and spearmen and whatnot can do pretty good against them.
And he's probably going to synchronize this attack with raid from the left side as well. And look what Liereyy is doing as well. He's doing atonement for his monks. So he's making the counter to the alleged counter to what he was doing. So there's some like, atonement for TaToH as well.
Yeah, both players going atonement here. And that's a lot of spearmen as well. Lierey's got a lot of groups here. He goes in with the light cap, a little whoop, little split. That was beautiful from him. He's not going to have many monks to convert at this raid, Viper.
All the monks are gone. He still has, the good thing for TaToH though is he has the amount of spearmen right now. I'm not sure Italians get pikemen, right? I would like to see pikemen upgrade come in because those 4 rams now are coming in. And TaToH's army is villagers at this point.
Yeah, and this is the synchronization you were talking about. Even the best of players are going to miss out on this. There's a beautiful setup here from Liereyy. Love to see it all flow perfectly for him. But can TaToH stop the Rams? He might need to use the villagers here right now.
He did a nice move with the TC, sniping one monk.
Oh, that's
he's not noticing the attack on the left. He's so busy here. And this is awkward as well, because when you're going to release your villagers to attack the Rams on the top, they might pop up on the bottom. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's losing all the villagers on the left side. This Liereyy with a very, very convincing attack.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And even if he loses all the Rams and whatever's happening here in this push, he took out a town center. It's a lot of idle time, and that was the killer blow. And I think, you know, TaToH, I just saw a little sigh. I think he calls the GG here. He does. And that was a work of art there from Liereyy. That game was incredible.
Yeah. The end there, TaToH was probably like, I'm in a tough spot. He's sending his villagers back to TC, and then he goes back to macro, and he sees that TC on the left side.
Yep.
And then it's just like, there's no point playing on anymore.
I can't wait till we see the draft again. I recall there being Byzantines as a selection for one of these players. I believe it also might have been sniped.
It was sniped, yeah.
So I think for TaToH, Italians might have come later in the draft.
Yeah.
And I think he would have been in a better position with the Byzantines there. And maybe that's what his whole game plan was.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Liereyy had Byzantines, TaToH sniped it. TaToH had Persians, Liereyy sniped that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think this was maybe the 3rd or 4th pick for Liereyy. So again, it comes down to like, you have to prioritize your picks depending on the maps you want to win.
Absolutely.
And this, I would say the Italians definitely have fighting chances against Japanese.
Yep.
But Liereyy just pulled ahead economically, even from Dark Age on. Yeah, and he kind of never let go from there. Amazing defense in the pond, even fighting uphill on the water. Up river? What would you call it?
Up lake or up pond?
Yeah, even fighting up pond.
I think it should be up pond. That's true.
And those the clutch demos at the end, just closing the deal. And yeah, he was just in the driver's seat. Even winning the scout fight, so he had all the vision. And like, even if you win water, if you lost your scout and you know his scout is alive, you're still a bit uncomfortable. But since he won the water and he won the scout fight, and he had all the vision to control and dictate the game, Liereyy made no mistakes from there.
I know you're going to say, oh no, after this, but I just got an idea for a really good map.
Oh no.
No one wants hills on water, I get it.
Is it up pond nothing?
No, it's not a nothing map, but
okay.
I'm sure we could do that. You know, you make like the right, like bottom, and then you slant it all the way up to the left. I don't know. Anyways, but as we move on here.
Are you not going to share anything of your idea, or?
No, because it's
then why let us know?
Because I want you guys to be like, ooh, when are we going to see that, you know, right?
Yeah.
By the way, anyway. T90, someone just said, this is on you. T90's lack of vocabulary is annoying me. Well, thank you, the Senate ______. My lack of vocabulary.
That's just a Twitch name. Why do you have to go on the Twitch user?
That's true, yeah. Your lack of originality and the need for underscores bothers me. He's probably just joined and heard me say up pond. I blame you for that.
You got him there. Nice one. Anyway, they're wasting no time. We have Cumans against Mayans on Outcrop.
Yeah. Well, you know, earlier today, I think it was the first series they've all run together. Deer's
TaToH's being trolled by the deer.
Yeah, being trolly here. We saw Yo plays the Cumans against Vinchester. Hera then said, like, oh, I'm banning Cumans the entire tournament. I'm not spoiling anything because I brought that up to others. They're like, yeah, he will. And, you know, it was a conversation we had in the back room. And I said, I think Yo is the best. Yes. But, I mean, again, he said it. Maybe.
Fair.
Okay. Cumans for Yo made me say he's the best Cuman player there is. And people were like, oh, well, maybe what about TaToH, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, TaToH had done it in TTL recently. He liked his tower rush and 2 TCs at times. So I'm excited to see what TaToH goes for here.
Yeah, TaToH really kind of invented that tower rush with the 2 TC boom style.
Yeah.
And, I mean, had huge success in those tournaments. Yeah, Cumans, The thing is, TaToH picked Persian first, and the AM guys are the ones that started picking Persians as their first pick on Frigid Lake. Like, undisputed best civ, right?
Yep.
So when TaToH took that from Liereyy kind of had no choice but to snipe it, right? Because he probably felt as well that was the best civ there, and he had Khmer himself, so he probably didn't want to face it, right?
Okay.
But then you have to leave Cumans open, and TaToH likes his Cumans. I don't think anyone wants to play against him.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that civ.
Liereyy also really good with Archer civilizations, but he's got a decision to make here, because you're almost always expecting the humans to go for the 2 TC boom.
Yeah.
The main thing that people are doing is they'll go for a bit of a drush, which is what we're seeing here, Dark Age Rush with Militia. You hope to get some value, and then you hope to see what they're doing and adapt.
Right.
If you get a sign that they're not going for the 2 TCs, you rush to Feudal, and then if you get a sign that they are going for 2 TCs, you usually go Fast Castle.
Yeah. See, TaToH is almost on the way up here. He has finished Loom, so the Militia are going to come in quite late here. Not sure exactly what he's hoping to do. Probably just some disturbance to the economy of TaToH. Unfortunately, here running into a wolf, so he's going to lose a little bit of HP on that one. But especially like the fast castle strategy is very viable here because there's also extra cows on the sides on this map. So I think Liereyy was up on the north side and grabbed 2 cows there. That's 300 food for free pretty much.
Yep.
So that helps a lot when you want to do a fast castle. And Liereyy, I mean, is there anyone else that does the Drush fast castle as fluently as him?
No, I'm not sure there is. And you know, again, him with Mayan archers being so cheap, it's going to be tough for TaToH. TaToH's got a decision to make on where he places his TC. I'm laughing because Lierey's like, oh, let's hit the berries. And there's no villagers there.
Right.
But I think the TC to the north, kind of where Lierey's headed, would be best because you have wood and gold.
But Liereyy sees that, he will see that, oh, this is a natural spot for a town center.
Yeah, will he stay?
So he could stay there and just block the surface area where the TC wants to go.
I think he'll keep moving. He's like, I need villagers to hit right now. I think he's just going to keep moving.
Maybe, yeah. It feels like, again, if you just stay there and then nothing comes anywhere.
Yeah, where's TaToH going? Where's TaToH going? He sent a bit. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, man. Rewatching this will be frustrating for Liereyy. But at the end of the day, he kind of expects that TC is going to go up anyways.
Yeah.
It's just he's trying to get any value he can before that happens.
That seems unnecessary from TaToH. Why not just plonk down a palisade wall there earlier?
Well, there we go.
This is just unnecessary idle time now for TaToH.
Yeah.
This is something we're kind of on the sloppy side, right? Those villagers should be working, collecting wood right now. And you need that wood because you need to start making a lot of farms soon because you have 2 TCs producing, so you need that food income.
Could we get a glance back at the base of Liereyy for a second? I want to see how much food he has underneath his TC. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think he's just started those cows.
Yeah.
Again, they're 150 food a pop, so you're right, Viper. I think he got extra food for underneath there earlier.
And it's Mayan, so they last longer as well. He's also got 4 villages taking deer on long distance. So it definitely looks like a fast castle follow-up. Question is, what's going to be the unit choice? Is it going to go maybe forward with Siege Monastery and maybe Eagle play? Is it going to go cross? We saw Vinchester, I think, go crossbow with Britons with the forward siege pressure. Yeah, it will be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, also TaToH is not, it's not like it's illegal for him to make units in Feudal Age, so he could add a barrack, maybe a stable, try to see if he can pick off a forward villager if he expects it. So, and that's something TaToH definitely thinks about. So
TaToH pulling his villagers off of the wood to engage here, possibly realizing he doesn't really need the wood right now and he needs food. He's probably going to use the northern TC for the wood. Does open himself up to some harassment here. That's going to be a bit annoying, but it doesn't seem like Liereyy really wants to engage. Agree or disagree? Because it feels like there's a chance. He's giving TaToH a lot of respect right now.
Right. So is this a clown map in disguise? Because 70% of the games on iPro goes to Imperial Age. But why would going to Imperial Age be an indicator of a clown map, though?
I don't know. They ran out of things to say over there. Yeah. It's been a long day.
Their inexperience shows at last.
Well, Liereyy finally dives in to kill it. He's going to get a village.
Oh, or is it? Is it? TaToH is trying to block with his own village. Oh, nice block there by Liereyy.
Yep.
So Liereyy gets some, I would say in the end, Liereyy probably should be happy with the value he got there. He does lose his Drush in the end, loses the Eagle, so he won't have the vision anymore. And this is actually pretty good for TaToH, because now TaToH can send his scout across the field and just figure out exactly what Lierey's follow-up is, and he's going to see that. And or you can use the scout to just go around and pick up cows as well to further boost his economy.
He was doing that too, right? He just brought one or two home. You know, he didn't get the ideal cumin boom here. He didn't have horse color for the farms, but again, it's not an arena, right?
Right.
It's an open map where you have to work a bit harder. He's going to squeeze that upgrade in now. So
Castlage is on the way, though, already.
Okay, so Viper, I know there's a lot of bonuses at hand, but let's keep it simple and talk like military, right? Because we've got the Mayans here, and they have cheap archers.
Right.
And then earlier today, we had the Britons with the faster working archery range and also the extra range. Which one do you prefer there? We saw the Britons work earlier. If you had to choose one, I would just want to talk about, the struggles that could come here.
I think mines are, generally speaking, better because they also have, on paper, better economy. I mean, you can't add thesis as easily as you can with Britons, but long-term as well, I think mines on this map probably has more potential than Britons because they have mobility with plumed archers or eagles, while Britons feel a bit more limited and kind of relying on that, like, slow push in one spot. Yeah, sure.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, they both have their pros and cons here. I think the one thing that was maybe coming to my mind is if you want to go siege push, oftentimes the opponent's going to go for defensive siege with humans, and not having that additional +1 range can sometimes make the micro a little bit more difficult here. It is Liereyy we're talking about. There goes the villager. He's on his way.
Yeah, 2 villagers moving forward for Liereyy here. I don't know if TaToH saw the villagers. I don't think he did. He only saw that there were archers and 1 eagle. Finds another 2 cows on the way home. But yeah, those villagers are coming forward, and I think that Seed Workshop is going to be as close to TaToH's base as humanly possible.
Yeah, but there's a nice little wall off here, right? Including a blacksmith, which I find a little early, right? He didn't necessarily need that right now, and that might make Liereyy think twice. And now Lierey's thinking, where do I make this siege workshop? I wanted it between the TCs there, like right in his face. He's going to make it right there instead. That's fine, though, I think.
The good thing for humans in a situation like this, especially against range units, is you can actually build a siege workshop in feudal age. So if TaToH now maybe even consider idle his town centers just to make sure he gets to castle, because I mean he has a 20 village lead at this point. Trying to push that even further non-stop is on the greedy side. I would probably do it, but I think it might make sense to just idle here, and then you can do a siege workshop and already be ready to get a mangonel out as soon as you hit castle age.
I agree. I think the best players with humans, they get to this point, they say, I already have a Vill lead. The most important thing for me is I don't lose that Vill lead in Castle Age. Let's idle, and I think he is, right? He's got 1 Vill in queue. That one's on the way. Now he's using the market. He's waiting. He sells stone.
You couldn't do that in the past. If you sold the stone in the past, you could not repair your town centers anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So
it was
thank
weird.
God.
You used to always have to have at least 1 stone in the bank to repair your town center, even though you didn't actually spend stone to repair the town center.
Ooh, Liereyy going for the blacksmith with the ram. That is actually like thinking ahead, just like TaToH with the university. But TaToH preparing a siege workshop before the blacksmith goes down. I'm actually not sure if the blacksmith goes down if his siege workshop can be built still.
I think you still can. Right? I think if you have the building, then it's good. It's like if you were to delete your barracks by mistake, you could still make the archer range. I may be wrong on that, but I've deleted one too many things in my career.
I still like this choice from Liereyy, though. Like, sure, he could break through the top faster, like just go through the house, but the blacksmith is something TaToH really wants long-term as well, so... And I don't think Liereyy necessarily expects to do massive amounts of damage here either, but this is a nice move by TaToH.
Oh, man. Yeah, it really is. I mean, my worry here is he doesn't have a ton on gold. He's going to need the wood for the siege. I hope that he doesn't try and go for a sneaky TC at the expense of the siege numbers. I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to produce siege out of that.
He also sold his stone, so I guess the top side has to be a mining camp probably, just to make sure he has some income.
Yeah, that's true. I just assumed it was maybe for a TC, but maybe at this point, just get some villagers on gold. They need to work on something.
Oh, stone. Preferably. It makes sense, right? You don't have stone in your base, and now you have snuck villagers outside, and Liereyy tries to get the seed workshop. This is ambitious.
Oh, I think it's perfect. I think TaToH needs to make another one.
Might be, but he's gonna hit Castle Age. He gets a little bit of extra HP. I think he might be able to get a mangonel out in time. And he cannot repair that because the crossbows and the mangonel from Liereyy is there. Yeah, he has to do a second one. Oof.
But he is producing out of the first one, which I like.
Just in case.
Yeah, wow, jinx.
You owe me a Coke, or I owe you a Coke? Is that how it works?
How about both? We'll both get a Coke. We deserve it after this cast,
right? That's true.
Yeah. Mangonel is going to be denied here. That's a sick play from Liereyy. Second time in a row now in this series, he's gone for a ram, where most players go for the Mangonel.
I think most players go for a ram, though, here.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to agree in the previous game that 4 rams is a little unique.
Yeah, that was unique.
Okay. Thanks for making me look good there, Viper. I'm taking back my Coke, okay? I'm going to have 2 Cokes.
In this situation, I think a ram makes sense because you just want to take out things as fast as possible, right? You want to break into the base and cause frustration for the opponent.
Okay.
Mangonels are like slow, But yeah, I think Mangonel would have been a fine choice as well, so you're not too far off on your...
oh my goodness.
Mangonel out for TaToH, does miss the hit.
Oh, so close.
This is so important for TaToH. He cannot afford losing this. He's going to be... The seed workshop is going down. TaToH has even added a third one.
All right, there we go.
Third seed workshop, 2 minutes into Castle Age.
That Ram is on a mission right now. That Ram is the MVP of the game right now for Liereyy, but Liereyy still hasn't killed many villagers, and he's still under pressure to do so, being behind.
The issue for TaToH is he's also TaToH is also on the farm, so Liereyy could do the crop shot where you get the extra range. Ooh,
big attack around.
I felt like that one should have gone down.
Yeah, I agree with you. And oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness, Liereyy.
Great micro by Liereyy so far for sure, but still a 20 villager lead for TaToH. If he stabilizes, he will come out of this with a solid villager lead still. Even adding a third TC on the top side now.
Now, I think at this point, as the MVP Ram goes down, Liereyy might make some mistakes because he's now focusing on his eco.
Right.
He's added the second TC, so it's likely he's going to be adding a few farms and doing other things there. All that said, it is Liereyy we're talking about, and he's really good with microing anything in this game.
And he gets another one.
Oh, boy.
Liereyy did even add a monastery on the front because he saw the stable from TaToH. I don't think that's necessary at the moment, so that's... Let's get another one. Oof. Man, it's the house. Oh, the houses from Liereyy are actually annoying. TaToH might actually misclick the houses sometimes. But yeah, I think Liereyy needs to add economy though, because at this point you feel like TaToH should be able to stabilize at some point, because he has defensive mangonels, close to reinforcement points. So as soon as there's a 1-for-1 trade or 1-for-2 trade in favor of TaToH, suddenly he's stabilized.
I was going to say, I would have deleted those farms so long ago. It's just asking for a trouble as he goes back into this shot. And man, TaToH's going to lose his starting town center at this rate.
Yes, luckily for him, he's not invested that heavily into farming around it right now. His food income is quite awkward though. He cannot sustain villager production from all the town centers at the moment, but he's still working with an 18 villager lead. So again, the only thing TaToH needs to do right now is to make sure he stabilizes. Dude, the farm crop shot.
Oh, so close. Man, Liereyy hasn't lost one yet. This is ridiculous. Yeah. This is just insane.
That almost looks like TaToH. Oh wow.
Wow.
That's like 6-1 trade so far, or 6-0. Even.
Yeah, 6-0. I think the only siege weapon he lost was the Ram.
Yeah.
And you know, TaToH's had 3 siege workshops here. This is ridiculous.
And look at those villages running. Oof, that's so painful.
Yeah. TaToH needs. It's at a point now where he can't just take a 1-for-1. Even a 1-for-2 is bad. Yeah. This next mango is going to have to pop. There's a risk he could lose it against the siege workshop if he pops out the front. So he should probably pop to the side. Oh, will he even get it?
I think at this point you want to pop on the front, so you just try to hit something fast.
Oh, and it's a 96% denial.
Yeah, and TaToH will call it.
Wow.
That's you're resigning with a 15 villager lead. That's when you know things went rough. But that was amazing execution from Liereyy. That aggression, just with the mangonel micro, just non-stop paying attention. Like he's also macroing at home, right? He's adding economy, second TC, his farming is working, and he didn't lose a single mangonel. Yeah, it's super impressive.
It's typically so much easier to play from the defensive position, right? Because your economy's behind it all. You just need 1 or 2 shots, and then suddenly you've got a 20 villager lead. You expand, and then you do other things with your game.
Yeah.
That was impressive from Liereyy. I think for TaToH, I think his strategy was fine. He's really just going to have to look for the micro there. Yeah. Obviously, TaToH did win on day 1. He now loses day 2. Not that bad for TaToH. Obviously, he's got 3 rounds coming up. But Liereyy, with day 3, 4, and 5 of groups coming, is going to be a player that no one wants to face up against, right? Oh, my goodness.
Or maybe you want to, for Buchholz reasons.
Oh, maybe. Can you explain Buchholz for me?
You get extra points based on who you're playing against. So, like, if your opponent wins all their games, that's potentially good. Why are we zooming on me? That's potentially good for you. Point being, for example, the same. That's why also for me now, I want to win as much as I can for Jordan. Because I beat him today.
Jordan.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's just... Okay, we're back.
Yeah, they're going to zoom in on me now, I just know it.
Okay, well, you asked for it now.
Continue.
Where were we? So, Buchholz, can you explain it to me?
No.
Okay.
It basically what Viper said is true. We're going to have an interview in a second, which is the only reason I say no, of course.
Yeah. I have to say that we saw some incredible execution this game, both from both players, especially the Pulse game from TaToH, really and then the Japanese and Mayans game from Liereyy.
And I also felt like the strategy from the draft, from the bans to like the pick prioritization, everything was really smooth there. So like they were firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. Very impressive play.
All right. So I think, are you going to join me for the interview?
I think you're going to do the interview.
But you brought some amazing insight.
I can sit with you and watch.
Sure. Yeah, we're going to head over to do the interview here in a second, see what Liereyy has to say about his series. Liereyy, heads up. I don't know if you heard that, but Viper might not be asking questions.
I'm just watching.
He's a viewer.
I don't even know if this is on.
Don't worry, I was a viewer.
I believe
well.
it is. Yeah, Liereyy, another day, another victory in a best of 5 against some big opponents. How are you feeling right now?
Doing good, you know. Couldn't be better.
Yeah, seriously. You know, Viper and I talked about the strategy, and with TaToH, as you know so well, like his strategy is always on point. Was there any surprises with the way the draft panned out for you? Maybe a map that he picked or what he banned?
I did think he would play humans on Arena.
Okay.
I didn't expect humans on Outcrop, but then after he played Poles, it was like, during the Arena game, I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be humans on the Outcrop, pretty annoying. And well, the Arena was just like, whatever, try something, you know. I bet you could tell as well, but didn't work out too well.
All right, well, we'll go through some of the games here. Game 1, you see Lithuanians on the other side. I think you're the first player that went for 0 fishing ships here. Talk me through that.
It wasn't the plan. I thought I could afford one, but then I couldn't, so.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
But,
you really are doing me favors here to give you credit. But like, was there, you know, like, let's say you're up against Persians there and it gets to the mid game where you have that type of lead. Do you play anything differently? Like, was there a difference of approach because of being up against Lithuanians?
Well, after I lost my archers, it was pretty clear that I was going to go scouts.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Also, it's Lithuanian, so, you know, monks are going to come out eventually, and then it just becomes like a fest.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is really what people cared about the most.
Yeah, I could tell. And as soon as the tower went up and I clicked, I realized this was not going to lead to anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just wasting my time here.
I don't know if they're going to show it in the highlight, but we actually went to your POV and TaToH's POV, and you both didn't look anywhere else.
Yeah, I was like housed. I had like 2K food in the bank. It was not good.
Okay.
I achieved nothing as well, so.
Gotcha. So safe to say that like maybe you planned Hindustanis to be a counter to Cumans there, and we're a little broadsided by the Poles pick?
I don't know what I planned, but Arena was just like whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
I like my saves for the other 4 maps, and it worked out, so.
Yeah, okay, that's fair, I guess. Do you think you have a chance winning that game if you don't lose your university? When you
Probably
did?
not.
Okay, all right.
I realized too late. I thought it was a bit faster, you know, and didn't know if university goes down that fast.
Maybe go Malians next time. That university is pretty good, so.
Yeah, or Portuguese.
Yeah, true. All right, look at this guy. Okay, nice.
Banned them, so.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, Viper, do you have a question?
I'm watching.
Okay, never mind.
Doing good.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. Yeah. So game 3 is going to come up here in a second. I don't really recall the highlights, but
Kawazan. Have you? I have a question here. Do you know that Kawazan has hills on the water?
Yes.
Did you know that?
I wasn't sure how much it affected the ships, though.
Okay.
I knew there was a hill, but I have never fought on hills before.
Yeah, that was weird. I haven't seen the map with those hills before.
Thank you for that excellent question there, Viper. Yeah. So did you? When I look at Italians, obviously Italians are quite strong here, but did you feel like this is TaToH's first choice for this, or does it go back to the snipe on the draft?
It probably goes back to the snipe. I don't think it was his first choice. I mean, he also sniped my Byzantine, so, you know, it goes both ways.
Okay, yeah.
I guess it's a pretty even matchup. Can go either way, but yeah, I managed to kill his fish quite early and just hold on mine. Pretty straightforward.
4 Rams versus Mangonel. I know it worked, so it feels a little stupid to ask, but like, what was your thinking there?
This game?
No, well, the previous game, the 4 Rams and Kawasaki.
I mean, I don't think it would have mattered. I just wanted to finish the game as early as possible. Not sure why, but I thought the game was over. So
okay, gotcha.
I think even 4 Scorpions could have worked there. I wouldn't even have needed to push his TC. I was so far ahead, and I also have the mobility. So that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, we just breezed through the highlight there from game number 3, but you punished the Cumans quite nicely. Did you expect Cumans there after he didn't pick it on Arena?
Yes and no. I kind of thought he could also come with Chinese. But then again, Cumans are pretty solid on that map, and it's so annoying to play against them. So I kind of expected Cumans.
Okay, gotcha. So I believe, you know, Nili's going to come in here and explain how day 3 will work. But I believe we had 3 players who are 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit weird. Typically, we'd have like 2 2-0 players play against each other. Again, Nili would get to that. But based on results, the opponent will get stronger. It's hard to get stronger than TaToH. But, you know, you look at this, you look at the top 3 players, you're probably going to be playing Hera or Yo, depending on how things go. Confidence levels, talk me through it.
You know, I'm looking at a pretty solid board, honestly. I can't complain. Obviously, I feel pretty good about it. Also, with the Buchholz system, it's like kind of a snowball system, because like I'm 2-0 and I'm gonna face someone who's 2-0 as well, most likely. And
Yeah,
then if I lose,
sure.
the other opponent is 3-0, so I have the best Buchholz in theory.
Sure.
And I'm still 2-1, so I still have good chances, so I should be looking pretty solid here. So not really too much pressure. Obviously, I'm gonna try my best and go for the win, but feeling pretty good.
Okay. Do you have any weaknesses right now? I would Arena.
I'm gonna prepare something for tomorrow for my opponent. So
okay, all right, that's good to know. Well, Liereyy, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure watching you play. You're playing some of the best Age of Empires here,
thank you.
Excited to cast more of your matches.
Thank you.
Yeah.
T90 and VIPER.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.